I have a couple of different lights here, both from the same company. I'm not really sure how you pronounce it. Is that Security Ing or Security Ling or something? Anyway, they're a manufacturer, I think they're out of China, but these are really not your typical Chinese-made lights. The light head is separate from the battery pack, which is pretty cool because you can have a large battery pack strapped to your backpack or thrown in a pocket or strapped to your waist, or if you ride a bike you can strap it to the frame or under the seat, whatever. And you have a pretty good length of cable with each one of them. The main difference between these two packs, these two lights, this one has a single large floodlight with a button on the back that sets your modes. This one has two lights, one's a flood, one's a spot, and again a button on the back. This one includes a smaller battery pack. The head's water resistant, but as you can see the battery pack itself is pretty open. I mean, you're not going to want to ride this thing in the rain or in wet weather. This one is pretty well sealed. You can see you have a rubber boot around the batteries with a belt loop, and the connector is waterproof and O-ring sealed, which is pretty cool. So let's take this one first. We just snap it together and then screw this down tight. So in the rain, splashing and so on, you're going to be pretty dry. You have one button on the back with indicators showing you your current power status. There's three lights to move around so you can see it. There we go. Now you hold it in for 2 seconds to turn it off. Turn it on once, you get a flood. Hit it again, you get a spot. Hit it again, you get both flood and spot. Hit it again, you get the flashing, which really will blind somebody or grab their attention. Again, off. Each time you turn it on, it defaults back to floodlight. This is an incredibly bright floodlight and spotlight. I mean, I'll take them outside in a little bit and show you, but they're really, really cool. Large battery pack. They both have a similar style mount. They are designed to go on a curved surface. So they include the handlebar mount, which is pretty much a pretty cool O-ring, which I'll show in a second. Okay, this one is water resistant. You see there's no thread in O-ring. It just snaps in, but it's pretty snug. And then the head has a single button and a ring that illuminates, showing you your current status, which is pretty cool. This one has bright, dim, and flash. So it's, you can see it's pretty blinding. Included little Velcro strap. This is designed to mount, for example, on a frame. I tend to put these around the backpack strap or just throw them into a pocket, and they work out pretty well. You're looking at them from the front, and I'm not going to turn them off because I don't want to blind my camera. You can see they're really different in design. The two smaller LEDs with smaller reflectors and the one LED with a large reflector. But hear that? These are both solid machined aluminum. The lenses are glass. The cases are really well sealed. On this one, the wire is part of the base, so it's one unit or one piece. This one you can actually remove the clip. You can't turn it sideways because it doesn't hold very well. It's designed to go on this groove. But you could, if you're a tinkerer or DIYer, you can take this off and you can attach this to other things or homemade mounts, which is pretty cool. I'm actually working on a few different things for it. It's ribbed, so it's also a bit of a heat sink, and same thing for this one. As you can see sidewise, they're pretty close. Again, this is really a floodlight. It's dirt cheap for what you get. They both are, and like I say, this is the combination use. There is a little shade in the top here, so it doesn't scatter light back into your face when you're riding. It also tends to square off the top of the light a little bit. That's not really an issue for most people, so it doesn't really matter. I do like that you have three indicators showing you your battery status, where this one, what will happen is the light will get dimmer and turn to red when you're almost dead. If you're into caving or biking or exploring. These are two really cool options, and what's nice is they're reliable. I've had both of them on, and they don't just die like some of the high brightness lights do, where you have full brightness and then that's it, they die because the safety kicks in. These get dimmer and dimmer and dimmer. I've actually had them both on overnight and gone back 12 hours later and there's still a dim light coming out of them, enough where you can actually walk or move around by. This is the strap you put over your head or on a hat and so on. I kind of wish they'd make a GoPro compatible mount for this thing, because then you could take advantage of various helmet mounts and so on that you already may have. Notice the curve lines up, and what you get with these is this kind of O-ring little thingy that slides through here, and one end hooks over the clip here, other end over the clip there, and like I said, they're both pretty similar. Pull this up, snap it over, and now it's mounted. And it works the same way in a handlebar and so on. The smaller light, see, it really is pretty tight. This one here includes two of these little O-ring things with tabs on them, so you can put them on various style or size bars. The larger of the two lights, the floodlight, includes this big O-ring, which is clearly designed for a larger diameter bar or for the strap. What I've done is I've also put together this little thing of PVC with some black non-slip tape on it. When I'm not using this thing on a handle, it's kind of cool. You have a grip for it, so if you want to use it kind of like a traditional flashlight, it works pretty well. Or you can just hold this thing in your hand. It's lightweight and pointed, and that's true of either one of these lights. Same thing, I can put this one on here using either of the mounting O-rings. I mean, they're pretty well universal. These are very similar to scuba cylinder O-rings, and I can hold this thing like this and use one thumb to control everything. So I get 75 feet where I'm standing. So let's turn on the floodlight. That's the single beam light. On full brightness, and weak, and an annoying flash. Now let's try the dual beam light. So let's try it on flood. And you see it's a pretty close flood. It doesn't have the distance throw. Then let's try it on spot. The spot is pretty comparable to the other light. And then the combination. An annoying flash. Just turn them off. So that's the one spot. That's the other one. So there is a definite difference in brightness. So it just depends on where you're looking for. So the larger of the two definitely has a better overall light throw and brightness, but the dual lamp one has a much wider spread. It also lasts longer, and it's got a battery pack that's twice the size.